Okay, Bones, cut the music. Hey, we're recording. We've only got an hour, so I am going to get this done really quick. Kind of cut the music off a little short. I have got a new guest tonight that I've never had on the show before from the great country of England, from the Kent area. He is Daryl Evans from Lost Souls, UK. He's been in the paranormal documenting for 7 years, and he's been a lot of places, and he's seen a lot of stuff. And Great Britain is one place where I am probably never will get in my lifetime. Uh, so I'm glad to have him, and he can talk about some of the things he's gotten into in Great Britain. But let's get down to it real quick. Bones, please play the intro.
Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman featuring Bones. Catch us on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Facebook, Stream, and everywhere else you catch your podcasts. And of course, WLFE-DB.com. Now, from the backwoods of southeast Arkansas, right beside the Bayou Bartholomew, the longest bayou on the planet, broadcasting from downtown metropolitan Cane Creek Township, here is your host, Len Dorman.
Somewhere? Yes, I am right here. The mic came back on. Like I said, this is going to be an hour show, so we're going to bring on our guest right now and let Daryl talk to you about his area of expertise. A little bit of Great Britain, a little bit of England. So the only trouble is he doesn't seem to speak proper English. I'm having a hard time understanding things he says because he doesn't speak English.
Hello.
Hello, Daryl.
I speak proper English.
Of course, my English probably doesn't sound English to you because it's got a southern accent.
Well, we both speak English. Yours is the American English. Mine's the oh, hello, mate. How's it going?
Oh my goodness, let's talk about some of the places you've been that I will probably never get to in life. Let's start from the beginning. What got you into the paranormal?
Well, got me into the paranormal from a young age because I've seen ghosts as a child and seen sights and spoke to ghosts as growing up, which, you know, is quite scary, but now it's understandable and can accept it. But then, obviously, up to 7 years ago, I started documenting because obviously I wanted to catch evidence of the dead on camera and talk to them to get the history from them, just to get to know them. Been to, I think, one of the most expensive, I can't speak, the most haunted place I've been so far that I would recommend all day long is with Stokes Haunted Museum, which, if I can remember, this is the thing with Craig, who owns the place, Stokes Haunted Museum. I think it's got documented over 300 artifacts with the paperwork to them. That's a place that's got some activity. Been to the Ancient Ram Inn, that's active. I've been to a few synagogues. Just trying to remember on the spot. Where do I remember? I've been to loads of places, but just remembering. My mind's gone blank. Obviously, I'm in a little town called Ramsgate in Kent, England. So I've been to a few places around there. I don't know where.
Just remember that there's no pressure on this show. It's
I
only
know
shown.
I know there's no pressure. I literally
It's
go blank.
it's only shown on Facebook on two channels, YouTube on one channel, and then it goes out to Spotify and all the networks that show
Yeah,
podcasts. So nobody will see this, but a few 100,000 people.
I know. I
No
don't. To
pressure.
be fair, the amount of times I've done interviews, I don't get nervous, but it's just when I'm doing these, sometimes my mind just goes, you know what, I'm going to make yourself go blank. You've got to remember on your own. I'm like, oh, cheers, brain. So it is tricky sometimes when I'm like doing this and like my brain just goes dead, and I'm like, oh, cheers, great, right time doing it. But I would say that them places, but I've been to loads of other places. It's just remembering them, or my brain allowing me to remember them. But with the growing up as a child, teenager, what I've seen. Well, my experience that I would say that I've had the most is actually talking to ghosts as if like I'm in front of you and talking to you. It's the first experience was at Dover Castle in England, and we was in the tunnels, and I thought there was an exhibition going on, but I found out there wasn't such an exhibition, but I saw what I presumed was a member of staff dressed up. So I instantly thought there was and then started speaking to her. And it was just the fact that I'm like, after a while, we stopped talking and then she walks off. And I'm like, I look back and realized that I was talking to an actual ghost because where she'd walked off to, there was nowhere to really escape without being seen. And I'm stood there like like shocked, and I was behind the crowd that was with, and my dad's standing. I said, "Well, hurry up, come on, you know, you don't want to get lost." And I'm standing there going, I've just seen a ghost." And my dad, being a skeptic, was like, "Oh no, you haven't. You was always talking to a member of staff." And I'm just like, "What member of staff? The only member of staff that's down these tunnels in Dover Castle is the one that's up front. It was only one member of staff that was dressed in the normal the attire there that everyone wears at the place." And it took me a few 10 seconds to sort of start walking again, but thinking that was someone that wasn't living. And then even going further down the tunnel, I'm just like not really taking in what the guide's really showing us or talking about because I'm so shocked. And I'm just like, just so like, yeah. It took me till I got to my dad's car to realise and then understood that after that, I just had no acknowledgement, anything, just thinking of what we was talking about with that spirit and just what they were dressed up in like and stuff like that. It was just crazy. So
Did you get any
yeah,
photos, video?
I didn't. No, that's what I mean. So when I was younger, it was just literally a general go to Dover Castle with my dad and just have a walk, a tour. Now I look back of it, if I could go back in time, I'd definitely take a camera. But the thing is, I know that more likely that if I said, "Oh, just because you're like dressed up, can I get a photo?" I know that I'm going to take a photo, and it's just going to be me smiling, looking like a weirdo because it looks like I've got someone else in there, and there's going to be no one showing up. But yeah, if I could get a picture, if I ever could go back and take a picture and it shows up, I would 100% do that. But it was just the first experience like seeing that, like me thinking I'm actually talking to someone that's living, to turn around, it's not. It is amazing. Like I speak to people about this all the time, and not there's people that have had the same experience, but people that haven't had the experience are like really shocked. It's amazement that how clear someone can be that died like hundreds of years ago, or like 50 years ago. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, paranormal is a very different thing to be in. Uh, do you, when you go out now, bring a little bit more to the present, do you go out as a group? And if so, who is in your group?
Well, for me, it's just me and my team. But if I do meet up, I do meet up with others. Um, but it's generally when they're free and stuff like that. But yeah, just me in my own team. I did try to get people to join the team, and it hasn't worked out. So I've learned that not all cases like it's good to be in a team. Sometimes it is good to just work on your own. So I'm just going to stick with me on my own, and then just collab with other groups and people. So yeah,
That's getting to be very popular.
it is. It is. I think I know. I don't know if you've heard of Ghost Theory in the UK. They're a
No, I'm
group of
not familiar with
two.
that one.
Yeah, they're a group of two. They do collab, but they choose to do it just on their just the two of them. And now and again they collab. But like for me, I'd love to just do things on my own. But I've done it once, like literally just gone out on my own, and like come across a group that was coming into a building, and it's just like the signs were there to get out, so I had to not get out normally. I had to get out climbing out of a window. I had to land in the bush and everything and scurry away without them seeing or hearing me. So the lesson learned is never go on your own. If you're on your own, never go on your own. Always go with like one or two other people, so that if you do come across people and they're going to be a bit hostile, you you know you know that you can either try and get out really quick, or just if you do get concentrate con approached and you have to like sort of talk to them and try and calm the situation down, then at least there's like more than one of you.
Yeah, I use some of the places I go. My wife is not a paranormal investigator, not interested in being one. But sometimes I just put her, at least in sitting in the car in the area. So
Mm,
if all else fails, she can dial 911.
yeah, yeah. Because I think that first time that I went on my own, I was like, I've got to get out and scurry. But then I was like at a situation where I was like, I should really like ring the police, because they were there to go into, smash the place up and be
Oh
proper, just
wow.
not nice at all. But even my phone at the time literally wouldn't work. Like it was working, but it just decided not to let me do what I needed to do. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather have like the police turned up, have to ask me questions and stuff, and also just deal with them, because for people to go into like abandoned places and smash places up, it's not right. It's
No, I fully agree. If you want to explore, explore.
yeah.
Take pictures of it, explore the place. Don't take everything. If you examine something, put it back where it was. But the graffiti stuff, I don't understand it, and I wouldn't tolerate it with anybody I was with.
No, no, I do believe that if you go into an abandoned place or a haunted place and want to be an idiot and graffiti and smash the place up, I do believe that karma should just hit them, because it's not right. Like even if they do take stuff, that item should be automatically haunted in my eyes. So it haunts them. So they're like,
Exactly.
I'm taking that back. You know what I mean? But it's just like
I,
a few of my friends try to get something sorted, that where in this industry and urbexing and all like all the witches and all the other like side of this to try to get a so that we could get order into place so that if you do go to a place that is abandoned, it's locked up, but you can get access, and then you know that you can go into a place knowing that that ain't going to be vandalized anymore, and you can do your paranormal stuff or your urbex and without anyone coming in and disrespecting the place. But
Right.
it's a bit difficult than we thought, because I think a lot of people have said they don't want to have to, like, why should we have to have IDs and have to go by like laws? But the thing is, it in my eyes and our friends' eyes, it was just the fact that you got to see it as that a lot of places would be more secure, safe, and if anything was to happen, like you are locked in for a majority of time, and then there is a youth come and then they try and smash or try and get in, you ring the police turn up, you can come out, you can show the ID and say, look, we're paranormal investigators or we're urbexers, we've got the permission to be here, and hence why it's locked up. Like, well, why we've been locked up for the majority of why we're here, and then we would be okay. But the other people that are trying to break in or vandalize the place would get arrested.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and sometimes you got to turn people in.
Yeah, but it obviously what we're trying to do hasn't gone a plan. So I think it's a hard one to try and put something set in concrete so that people across America, UK, Europe can go to places and not be disturbed and feel unsafe. Like people like me, if I wanted to go into a place on my own, I'd ring that place up, say that I want to go on this such a date, and then they would open it and then lock it behind me, and then I'd ring them up to let them out after, and then I know that I can go around that premises and not feel unsafe. Like the only place, like only time I'd feel unsafe if, say, that I went into a haunted place and it was very dark energy, and like that's the only time I'd feel unsafe is if a dark spirit was there. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to feel unsafe because of a group of kids coming in, smash the place up, start threatening you or something. You know what I mean? It's not good.
Right. Well, that's one time where Ghost Adventures, they got a lot of stuff wrong. But one thing they did get right was their lockdown. They got permission from the owners, and they would come in and lock them in where
Mm,
they did not have anybody trying to get in there. And
mm,
this was back in the years when they first got started. Uh, Now they've really got to do it, but they got to have security standing around because when they were at Baxter's Grove, I had to help cover up the fact that they were there because
mm,
another person released the fact that they were going to be there that weekend, and I had to go on the internet and lying on the internet
mm.
and say they were not going to be there. But if you wanted a tour of the place, I will be giving a public tour for no charge at this date.
Yeah,
And I did. I people by pick me up and take me down there.
yeah. I do believe there should
On
be
I
a
met
system.
several other people down there that time, but I had
Mm.
to tell a little lie and cover up for Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, I bet that was a bit annoying, like that you had to go around things to get to something, isn't it?
Yeah, because they didn't want anybody in the area, and I don't blame them. They're shooting a TV show. I don't want
Yeah,
anybody down there if I'm down there just investigating. This ain't
yeah,
nothing of trying to plan a TV show. You don't need a bunch of fans or idiots uh,
no,
just going there throwing stuff at you because there's some people that would have gone in there just to chunk rocks.
yeah, to screw things up. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
So I know what you're talking about. I know where I know what you've exactly your point that this is crazy. But I do have another question for you. What
mhm.
kind of equipment do you use?
For me, it is literally myself, my camera, my mic and my light, and then obviously if I feel like it, I may use an app, but it's only an app that I sort of trust that has worked and has stuff come through to prove it works. Um, but that's about it. Like, obviously, if I'm out with other people and they use like the EMF meter and stuff like that, then I will film it and for them to use it. But it's just for me, I like to try and keep it as natural as I can. It's
Okay.
I I believe me and the camera, the mic and the light, and that's all I need. Because I find that it works better because with the all the electrics, like I'm not dissing and I don't mind other people using it, but I find that with the electronics, you don't know whether you're picking up electrical waves from your phone or the nearest
Exactly.
telephone pole. So, majority of the time you could be just getting that, or if it is a spirit, you don't know when it would be. I think if it is a spirit and you're asking questions and they're being, it's responding from the questions, then yes, that would be the spirits like using the equipment and responsible. But majority of the time, you can't tell whether it would be spirits or say electrical waves. So I tend to not use them myself, but I don't, obviously I don't have issue with other people using it because it's each to their own how they investigate and do stuff, So I just stick to what I know that works and kind of doesn't work, but everyone else can use it if they want to. I haven't got a problem with that,
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, the one app that I use is EchoBox.
I think I've used that once. I think I have. Don't quote me on that because there's a lot of things I've done throughout the years,
Yeah,
and
I understand. Daniel Roberts come up with the EchoBox. He was actually on the show earlier this year.
mm,
We're planning on doing another show where we're going to go and do, on my end, use his EchoBox with him asking questions.
yeah,
And if instead of me talking in my mic, I'll put a speaker by my mic with what I'm picking up on an EchoBox going through the speaker. So that's one app I use.
yeah. Use this.
Are you jumping around all over the place?
Yeah, because obviously I've just recently moved into my place, and it's hard because at the moment I'll stick it there because it's and I've still got to get a desk and computer and everything. So I'm literally to the point where I've only got my mattress, my TV, and just boxes with all my stuff in.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've still got to get a bed, computer desk, and a computer, and just put my setup. So that's why I'm like just sitting on my bed with
Have you got any
one of
plans to go to any places in the near
well, I've
future?
got loads. I've got loads of. I've got plans to go to loads of places. I'm just in. I've I've approached a load of places, just waiting for them to get back. Um, so I think the recent one that I might be going to, if I get permission, is obviously a pub called the Red Lion in Ramsgate. Um, I've got a private school in Ramsgate called Chatham House, um, and I've approached a few others, but just waiting for them to come back. Um, and then just trying to build up the channel even more. Um, trying to get monetized or sponsorship so that any money that does come through goes back into the channel so I can go further afield. Um, and just do it like that.
Okay. Uh, you, what editing program do you use for your videos?
So at the moment, I'm on my phone and I use Power Direct, which does it's all right for what I want to use it for at the moment. Obviously, I need to get better, like obviously a computer, do the proper editing. But I know the ParaDirect can get on a PC, so I'll probably still use that because it is a good editing software. I wouldn't mock it all day long. So
Okay.
yeah,
Not, of course, we'd advertise it heavier if they were giving you money.
yeah, because I know that a lot of people like will criticize me probably and say, "Oh, why are you trying to?" They'll probably throw the, "Oh, we're trying to get famous and get money." It's like I'm not getting trying to be famous. I'm not trying to like be a millionaire because I know it's not going to happen. But I'm just trying to get funded so that I can travel, you know, and book places so I can give more content to my fans. So
There you go.
that's the main reason. Because the amount of times that people have come at me with that, it's just like, no, I'm not here to be famous, not here to have the money. You know, I'm just here to give the fans what they want, you know, with the
Yes.
free. And I love it. You know what I mean? It's a job in my eyes. You know what I mean? I don't get paid for it, but it'd be good just to have that little funding to help me do a lot more places.
Right. Pay for travel expenses.
Yeah,
I've talked to a lot of people who don't like, the places charge them money, but
yeah,
if they don't, they've got a building, they're letting people come in, they're charging people, sure, but they've got to keep the house insured, house, building, whatever it is. You got to have some kind of insurance. If they're paying for it, you if they're paying either to rent it or they're paying to pay, to actually pay for it and own it. The key word is paying. It's costing them money, and you can't expect somebody to make, say, a $500 payment every month on a building,
mm,
and then let every paranormal group that wants to come in for free. You just can't do that.
no. Well, the funny thing is, because obviously it is expensive for places, and you think that is expensive. The most expensive place that I've approached that was charging for only 4 hours um, was a building in Brighton where I used to live. It's called Preston Park Manor. Just 4 hours, they wanted a minimum of 3,500, and they added costs on top of that as well. If I wanted to
Wow.
use, yeah. So I was just like, you know, because they said to me as well that they have had a lot of paranormal, teams come to them and ask them. And they just said, well, no one seems to want to do it. And I was just like, I'm not surprised. 3,500 starting, mate, for 4 hours. You ain't getting anyone in.
No, that's amazing they have anybody at all.
Yeah, well, it's a wedding venue place. So, yeah, you've definitely got to have the money if you're getting married there. But it's just like, if paranormal teams are coming towards you and you know you can make extra money, it's a business at the end of the day. So it's a good opportunity to get more money in, but not when it's like 3,500 start rate.
Right.
It's a silly price.
Yeah, they're not going to get the same thing for a paranormal investigation they get for a wedding.
No, that's what it means. So, but I reckon if Ghost Adventures went there, they're probably that's the thing that they probably would pay. But it's just I wouldn't, definitely not for like just 4 hours. That's like just under £1,000 an hour, isn't it?
Right. And heck, it'd take me an hour just to get set up, another hour to tear down. And if you're limiting me to 4 hours total, you want me to walk in the door where they start the clock, and then I've got to walk out the door in 4 hours. The setup takes me, a minimum setup would take me 30 minutes.
Yeah,
A minimum
yeah,
teardown, probably a little bit longer. So figure 45 minutes set up and tear down, and you take two 45-minute periods out of a 4 hour investigation, you're not there for a whole lot.
no, that's the thing, and I think that because it was a time of 8 till 12, it's like, yeah, I know paranormal activity happens all the time, but if you went in there at 8 till 12 and the spirits are like, no, not yet, we'll do it later, but not yet. You know what I mean? It could be absolutely dead, knowing that it is haunted, but the spirits are like, no, not yet. I don't want to come out yet. You know what I mean? So if you went in there and say in all of the pricing, it was like another like 4,500 in total, and you go there for 4 hours and you think the spirits ain't come out at all, you'd think that's a waste of money for just the time of the spirits not being there. It's like you can't moan at the spirits because people need to respect the spirits because they'll come out or communicate when they want to. You know what I mean? It's what a lot of people need to understand is that you can't just expect spirits to be like, "Oh, I've got to come out." Okay, you know they're doing their own time.
Yeah, this is not a this field is not a circus.
No, no, that's it. That's one thing that annoys me is when people go in, you see their videos, and they're talking to them like children. You think,
Right.
do not speak to spirits like children because people need to understand that they're still human, just without a body. So spirits have got to be smart. Like they're alive, but just without the body. They're just in the spirit world now. It's just if I'm a spirit and someone says, "Do you think you are going to do this and do that?" and I'm going to look at them going, "Who do you think you are talking to like that?" You know what I mean? It. You got to respect them. You got to talk to them like you with respect. It's just don't talk to them like children, and you
Exactly.
wonder why sometimes a spirit may attack you, and it's a good spirit because it's the fact that why would you stand for that? You know what I mean? To be spoke to like a child, and they're like, "Oh my god, I've just been attacked. We've got a demon here." No, you just got a good spirit that doesn't, you know, like how you're talking to them. You know what I mean?
They got
So
tired of you.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's I've learned the industry of that spirits, good or bad, if they don't want something, they will show it. You know what I mean? But the demon word, the devil word, it's just no, it annoys me so much. You know what I mean? The only time you would get a demon or the devil is, in my opinion, is if there's been a major worship in an area, of the star and the devil markings and stuff like that. You're gonna get more like a demon, devil, dark entity like that. But when people go into places and think, "Oh, it's a demon, it's a devil," no, it's not. It's not going to happen like that. You get dark entities that are dark energied of like souls that were, like old, like criminals that were living and they've gone in paranormal, like as a ghost. They're going to be a dark entity, or you in some cases an old grumpy man, that didn't like anything. He could be a dark entity because he was a very grumpy person in life. So he's taken over to his spirit life and just, what I mean? It's people need to acknowledge of it properly because if you don't do it properly, there's no point you going in this industry.
Exactly.
And
It's like Al Capone and I do not get along. So we just stay out of each other's way. I'll give him that much respect, and he gives me the respect that he's not standing at the foot of my bed at night like he has some people.
yeah, yeah, it's just, yeah, it does annoy me when people use the demon devil word just a little bit easy. It's just like, no.
No,
If they if you go into a place that's had worship after worship and it's dark energy that's been used and spells have been then yeah, but you can't go into a normal place where it is haunted and just it's the devil. No, don't work
no.
like that.
Uh, what are some of the scarier experiences you've had during investigations?
Um, that is a good question because now I look back and I think to some people it would be scary. To me, it would just be an educational acknowledgement. I don't know really. Probably when I was, well, I probably would say when it was a kid, it more happened like when I very first had my encounter with a spirit. It was my first house. I came out my bedroom door to see a woman spirit in white. Because I opened the door, saw her, I was like, okay. The spirit saw me and then came towards me, and I could see in the face it was just a bit of a it's not a nice one. So I ran back under my bed, under my duvet covers, and hid there for like an hour. So, but apart from that, and I've only had, well, I've had things come at me, but not really horrible. I don't know, it's a really tricky one to explain. Um, I've obviously had like the speaking in my ear. Um, I could say I've been slapped, I've been tugged. I remember the once I got slapped on my belly or belly area, and whoever had slapped me had left a handprint, like they had proper gone for a whack. But I
Wow.
don't think, yeah, and I don't think it was aimed at me because I remember I didn't like annoy the spirits. I was being respectful, so I think it might have been the other one of the other people I was with because I know one person I was with was being a bit of a dick, and we had to say, "Look, chill, because you're gonna annoy not only the spirits but us in a minute because you're starting to be an idiot." So I think I got the blunt of it because I was in the way. But that I would say was the most harshest thing that happened to me. Um, but yeah, I've just been tugged, whispers. Um, yeah, I would, but I'd look at them back and it's like they don't really scare me as such. Like I'd be like shocked that it's happened just there and then, but then acknowledge what's happened, and I've learned to stay calm as such because if you go into a place and you get absolutely scared and you start running off, you're going to end up confusing yourself when you're running off to where you want to go because you ain't going to get out. So it's good to stay calm and collective. Even if you do get scared, just I would say if there's a point where you feel that threatened by something, then just slowly like work your way out and go somewhere else, but don't run or make it aware to the spirits. But then you don't know if the spirits can see, well, they can see, but yeah, I've just learned not to panic because I've done it once when I was at my friend's. Um, he decided to mess with the spirits, and it was a poltergeist. He'd gone in his room, his door slammed behind him. I went to run after him. Obviously, his door was slammed at me, and I ran off because I was like, I ain't standing there. And as I went to run down the stairs, because he had a big house, so his stairs are quite lengthy. And I went to run down the stairs, and I went to like sort of skip steps to get down the steps quicker. But as I did that, something had clipped my leg, and I had obviously fallen down the stairs, and then obviously got to the bottom. Wasn't at the time wasn't thinking like am I hurt or anything. I just had to get out. But it just shows that if the more you panic in a situation, the more the spirits obviously are aware and they're going to play on it. So it's best to you be scared, but you to be calm, scared, and get out of a situation like fast but sensible.
I kind of look at it like a military operation.
Yeah,
If
yeah, you do.
if somebody says they're not scared and they're on an army patrol, you don't want to be with that person because
No,
they're going to do something stupid.
yeah,
The best military people say, "I'm scared. Everybody's scared, but I'm
mm.
concentrating on doing my job."
Yeah. It's weird because I've there's a few occasions where I've gone into places and everyone's got scared. And I'm just like, look, just stay calm. Just try and be as calm as you can. Obviously, we're going to get out of the area. We need to get out and just go somewhere that's not in this area. But it's just, yeah, you scared. Everyone else can be scared, and that's where things go tits up. You know what I mean? So the more you can stay calm while shitting yourself. So I'm allowed to swear. Yeah, if you can stay calm while pooping yourself, it's easier to do that because then you can control the situation more and get out, and calm people down as you're doing it. Because there's many occasions I have seen and been with people that have proper panics and proper flips and just gone on their own and lost everyone else. And now you've got to go and find them in a situation where the spirits could be either annoyed and probably going for you if they want to. So you've got two situations now you've got to keep aware of: to find the other person and try not to get attacked by a spirit if they're pissed, like proper rat, like pissed off. You know what I mean? It's so where the situation could have been calm, collective, get out, say sorry to the spirit as you're doing it. I'd rather do that than someone over panic, run off, finding them for now you've got two situations where you got to find them, say sorry to the spirit. No, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So over the years I've learned, yeah, that a lot of people wonder why I stay calm in situations. I'm just like, because you have to. Yeah, you could be in a very volatile situation, but it's better to stay calm whilst pooping yourself, and you'll get through it easier. So yeah.
I agree. Agree with everything you said. We got about 15 minutes before we're going to have to call it quits. We'll get to your contacts before we leave. That's why I said we only got about 15 minutes where people can find you. If you got a particular place, a particular investigation that you care to share with everyone?
There's two places that stick out more for good activity. I don't know more than two, but I'll say I'd say three of them. So one of them obviously is Dover Castle. That's just jam packed with activity, which in the right areas you just need to walk in, stuff will happen straight away. The tunnels obviously is haunted and activity happens. But with Stoke-on-Trent Museum when I went, again activity all the time. But there was a man. So when I was on the second floor, there was a man that huffed a few times, and I'm sure it was at me because I caught it on camera. Yeah, just again noises, shadows, touched, and the same for Ancient Ramin. Exactly the same. I think there's another. Well, there is other places, but I think there would be the most active places I've been to. But then it varies between person to person. So what I found at them places could be dead there to others. You know what I mean? So I think it all depends whether you're a skeptic or not as well. But yeah, no, I would say they're three most places that I've had activity at.
Are you planning on going back to these places?
I will. it's because I know with Stokes Haunted Museum, I want to go back just on my own, to see what activity happens then. Ancient Ramming, so from when I went, it was easy planning stuff like that. So now it's like getting into Fort Knox. It's like really hard to talk to the people and get through and organise it. So if I did ever go back there again, I'd probably go back with a group that I know and just be us and them. Dover Castle, it would be in a group, because trying to book it privately, you're looking at like 1,700 quid now. So yeah, but there's many places I want to go to, in the UK as well as America. I'd probably end up next year properly sorting out going to America for like a good month and trying to go through the states that I know the people in and try and do stuff there. So yeah.
Wow. Have you ever gotten photos or videos? Because you're talking about editing videos. What's some of the greatest things you've caught? Have you got a partial apparition, or did you get lucky and get a full apparition, or?
So I've taken pictures and caught stuff of full figured spirits, and just semi captured of a spirit, like just the outline, and like the shadows that you can see in pictures. I've caught them before, but that was before I got seriously hacked, and because I told you earlier I got hacked and I had to obviously start fresh and stuff like that. But the weird thing is that all of my photos and video that I actually caught of stuff were on a hard drive that hadn't been linked to a computer or anything for ages. But for some reason, as I got hacked, the hard drive had been wiped when it hadn't been linked up to a computer, like for quite a while. So I again think that's paranormal, which was weird. The hacking part not a paranormal, but the hard drive and wiping all of my footage was, and I can't explain to it now.
So you think that a spirit or something came in and wiped a hard drive that was not connected to the internet?
I 100% believe there is paranormal because it's the fact that there would be no other reason for a 1 terabyte hard drive to be wiped, full of. I think remember it was like 350 pictures, and through them pictures were like about a good 30 pictures that I caught stuff. And I think only a few videos I caught stuff and audio. But yeah, just that's got to be paranormal because I'd left it for a while, not connecting it because I just didn't need to use it. And after a while, I just ended up doing things like slightly different. So yeah, that has got 100% be paranormal, like 100%. You couldn't explain it any other way.
Wow.
I just found it weird that it happened exactly the same time as I got hacked as well. So I don't know what I look back at it and think it was a high chance of me getting hacked, but just for them two things to happen at the same time, it was a bit weird.
It happened. You see the picture I'm using for my avatar here?
Yeah.
That was taken just outside Baxter's Grove. There was 2 photos. He took a photo, click, just about that quick. You notice there's a shadow. Of course, there's a shadow in my crotch area. There's nothing there. It's just me.
Yeah.
All you see is a shadow of my jeans. The other photo, there was a odd shaped light appearing in my crotch.
Mm.
Both these photos were sent to me by the photographer. I put them on, of course, a hard drive. His photos, only the one with the light disappeared off his camera, disappeared off his computer, and disappeared off my computer all at the same time. Which, how does it explain that? There's just nothing you can say, but whatever it was caught in those photos, it did not erase the twin picture because I barely moved between the shots. They're almost identical except for the white light appearing over my crotch, and that photo got erased off two computers and a camera in the same night.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
So I can understand what you're talking about with the weirdness.
Yeah.
All right, we got about maybe 5 minutes before we got to call it quits.
Okay.
Now, I put some links below: your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, which, by the way, I did subscribe. And if you want, I will tell everybody listening. Like I said, this is a recorded show, so if anybody's listening on Facebook or YouTube Thursday night, or if you're listening later on next week or next month and next year to the Spotify and the other podcast networks, to go ahead and subscribe to your YouTube channel. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Let's do that. Let's go there. You've also got your Instagram link there. Is there any place else people need to look for you?
There is TikTok. I think with TikTok, I'm not really bothered because it doesn't seem to have the fan base there. So I just literally just watch the videos like when I'm bored with TikTok. So just the main ones are Insta, the YouTube, my Facebook. So yeah.
Okay. Congress is debating about blocking TikTok nationally here anyway.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. Us and the Chinese are not getting along all that well right now.
No.
It's a crazy world out there.
It is indeed.
But is there anything else you want to say while we got a couple of minutes to say it?
Off the top of my head, no. Obviously, if there's anyone here watching that's new to watching me and watching Len, then they're new to the paranormal. I would say do your research. I do a lot of research and always go by guides of what to do and what not to do, so you don't muck up. But apart from that, I reckon if you want to come into the paranormal industry, you should be okay. But just don't go into it, willy nilly without knowing any information beforehand.
I would also say if somebody wants to get into the paranormal, find somebody locally who's into it already.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I learned a lot in Chicago under Richard Crowe. He's the godfather of all things paranormal in Chicago. I don't know if you've heard of him or not. He used to do bus tours in Chicago. And I met him at a bar once just before one of his events. And I got to spend right at about 2.5 hours, maybe a little bit more, one-on-one with Richard Crowe. And I always thought, and this being less than a year before he died, and I thought this was extremely fortunate for me because you can learn a lot from an older person in the paranormal.
You can indeed. I know it sounds weird, but it seems to be that the older the person is and the longer they've been in the paranormal industry, is the more wiser they are. And it's me personally, I would say the older the person, it's better to get information from. Not knocking the young uns and people have been in it, but it's just they've. I would say they're like trying to think of the term that people use, like like a master, but not putting a term on it, but just acknowledgeable of all things the paranormal. You know what I mean? So that there seems to be nothing that they don't know. You know what I mean? They know everything, so that you'd be like, if someone asks questions, they would know it. You know what I mean? So it's good to, I would say, to ask advice from an older person that's very acknowledgeable of everything paranormal.
All right. Well, Daryl, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And for anybody who doesn't know, this show was recorded on Tuesday night for Daryl.
Yeah,
Been a little bit late for you, and me.
Thank you.
I'm still an hour and 15 minutes away from supper time. This was a good time to record the show. I really thank you for your time, and maybe we can do it again sometime when you got something to talk about.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Definitely come back on.
All right, you take care of yourself, sir.
Thank you.
Take care of all things England, and I'll see what I can do over here. We got issues here. All right, it's been fantastic, and we will see you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Daryl from Lost Souls. We got to hold this thing to less than 60 minutes, so really appreciate him coming on the show. That was a fun show, informative. Bones, let's go ahead and get us to the outro. Let's get out of here. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, please. Watch on YouTube. I guess we're already friends, so you wouldn't be seeing this. And thank you to the people watching this on long delay, maybe a year from now. Let me know how the future's going on all the podcast networks. Bones, take us out.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to tune in to next week as once again we journey way down south into Bayou Country for another heaping portion of Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman and Bones. Make sure to like, share, and follow. Y'all come back now. You hear?